so I wanted to make sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I really don't give a fuck if I talk about them anyway. So,
right. Well, you haven't mentioned a name, so there ain't fuck they can do anyway.
Or I haven't said anything untrue.
Ain't fuck they can do about dick.
Well, it's sort of like what I was. Hey, buddy. It's sort of like.
Oh, just because you're running the show, you got to be in the big window.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm just playing around with the
layout. Yeah. I see how it is.
I was trying to see if there's a way to just show the background for a minute.
Welcome to the after party where Jared is the party and we talk in the background.
You could just
I just put it as the overlay.
There you go.
Yeah, I could do it as the overlay.
Here's Jared. He likes to party. We'll just make some. We'll be the backup singers. Tell us about it, Jared.
What's up?
What have we been up to?
Fucking preparing for the freeze.
Yeah, someone tell me more about this. My wife recently started raising the alarm bells like, hey, maybe we don't want to drive halfway across the country while this is going on because everybody's saying it's going to be really bad. And I'm like, okay, it's like a storm. It's like a storm.
When are you leaving?
Not go home for Christmas, Friday.
And you're in South Carolina?
Yeah, we're driving to Illinois.
I don't know.
I would ask Aaron when it's supposed to go through there, and then it'll take another day to a day and a half to get past you as you're coming that way. So
it's just. I don't think we're supposed to get a lot of like actual weather. It's just going to get fucked.
Oh no, up north they are.
Yeah, they're talking blizzards and shit.
It's a blizzard in Minnesota right now that employees are getting sent home for the rest of the week.
Okay. Well,
wow, Minnesota's ready for that shit.
We've had 2 days.
No, they're not. It's fucking horse shit.
Oh, really?
They're more ready than Texas. I promise you that.
Well, yeah, that's true.
You start to say half an inch of snow shut down the schools in Southern Illinois.
That's.
I mean, well, it's more than that, but man, you get like 2 or 3 inches, and the fucking whole place is just a shit show. You'd think that.
Yeah, you think it'd be ready for like 8 to 10
snow every year that people could drive in it.
No.
I mean, when you bring people from Somalia that have never seen a car, bring them to Minnesota, give them a driver's
they've never seen snow
in the middle of the summer, and say, "Here you go," and then in November it dumps snow or the roads freeze. Guess what fucking happens?
I'd say that the Texans can't drive when it gets cold or when it gets too rainy, but that'd be a lie because they just can't fucking drive.
They can't drive in general.
People are just low quality across the country. I think that's kind of the theme.
I would say they're more just fucking shit baskets.
He did this so nicely. People are low.
We're not sending our best.
Like, these motherfuckers.
What does Josh say? Cock wobble.
That's a good one.
Cock gobbler.
I explained to my 7-year-old Jack Spirko's 10% asshole theory yesterday. It was or the day before, maybe. I said something about kids are mean. He goes, well, I'm not mean. And I said, but
that's the tip?
Yeah, like 10% of the population are assholes.
Yeah.
Another 10% will follow the assholes. And the rest is like in general.
The rest of them kiss their assholes.
Well, yeah. But the rest are like in general okay. They're not like out to get you.
I don't know. I think it might go the other way. I think 10% aren't assholes.
I don't know. We might.
And 10% of them are like the followers of the people who aren't assholes, and the rest are just ignorant assholes.
Maybe we should ask Jack to update the theory.
I think like 70% of people just do whatever they're told.
I think 2020 to 2022 kind of shot that theory down.
I think
more than 10% of the population.
Yeah. If you're told to be a fucking cop, you're going to be 70% of people are going to be cops.
Oh,
cock? Did you say cock or cop?
I need
both.
People suck cock.
It's synonymous.
Yeah,
pretty much.
But I was told if I wanted to make any money, I had to be a doctor or a lawyer, and I hated math, so I picked lawyer. So I totally did it.
How much math do doctors do?
You were lied to then.
I was lied to. Absolutely. A lot more than what I'm comfortable with.
Okay.
It's from like such a young age.
You had to take like all of the math in college. You would have to take all the advanced calc and the trig and like all that.
Why?
Shit.
That's easy.
I don't need that, and I'm an engineer. I work with numbers every day.
You're right. You don't need it, but
differential equations was the easiest class I took in college.
They make you take it for a prerequisite for med school.
There's 3 diff EQs.
Well, the first one.
Yeah, they make you take all this crazy
The
stuff.
second one, I didn't have a third one available. I took 2. The first one was probably the easiest class I'd ever taken, but it was probably the professor. The second one was probably I was really fucked up the whole time I was there.
I took all that shit
That'll
and
do
got
it.
the degree, and I cut up deer in a barn.
So I was an English major.
But you know the angles to cut the deer at.
Oh yeah, damn right. But I did learn them from math.
And like I know how to do the math to build a house. Like I could do that, but
Yeah, it's
4
true.
walls,
Easy
2
enough.
floors.
Yeah.
Why aren't you out there building houses, Patty? You could make way more fucking money doing that, probably.
I know that's the side hustle. That's the 2023 side hustle project. Is that I'm qualified?
Okay.
My contractor's license. I can get it in Washington.
The agorist engineer.
Yeah, my husband's got the
taken.
electrical admin.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so why not?
Pardon me, the agorist architect that has a little bit
That's
more
right.
to it anyway.
You're telling me you got to have a license to hang drywall?
Yeah.
Only if you fucking give a shit about the law.
Well,
No, you don't. You don't need a license to hang drywall. Ask the assholes that we're going to buy my
I
house.
I personally like to carry insurance when I'm interacting with.
I tripped and screwed it to the wall by accident. I'm sorry.
I like being able to get insurance, and they're going to make you have a license. So yeah.
I said
Man.
that I said I accidentally screwed that. I mean, never mind. We're not going to go there.
Wait,
George Washington would have been cleaving heads by now.
Here's my question. So you have to have a license to hang the drywall. Do you have to have a license to take the contract and then subcontract that out to somebody who can hang drywall for you?
Yeah, you do. But
What the fuck is that shit?
it's
No.
pretty
fucking
administrative.
world do we
Like,
live in?
it's cheaper. You go like, and that's why I can get my contractor's license here, because I don't have the hours of experience that you would need in like California. But here, as long as you're going to sub it out, it's pretty much just putting your ass.
If I rolled down the window right now and threw a rock, I would hit a Mexican that does not have a contractor's license more than any of the fuckers you know. I
You don't give
promise
a
you.
shit in Texas. But you can't get insurance without the license.
So,
The insurance,
So I saw-
who can afford that shit? Come
but
on.
if you're a GC, you have to be licensed in everything that you're going to sub out.
It depends on the state.
Hmm.
So if you're in California, there's a GC license.
If you're in California, get out.
Well, get out. In Washington, the contractor's license, you don't have to have all those licenses, except like there's a couple. It's like electrical and maybe a couple, not drywall, a couple others. But
Even if you're not doing it,
even if you're even if you're subbing it out. Yeah.
Why the fuck?
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
totally.
it does, because you got to be able to supervise it, right? Like,
Now if you sub it
Not
out,
really.
well,
you should be able to
Does
supervise.
your boss
you
know
are
what
not
you do?
getting the subcontract from me if I have to fucking babysit you. Otherwise, I will just do it myself and hire somebody.
I agree with that. Yeah.
It sounds like you just got to suck a lot of dicks. There's a lot of
It's
people that line
A
up.
lot of dick sucking.
Once you
to be
start
done.
sucking this
Gosh,
state's cock,
dang.
they decide how much cock you're gonna
That is
suck.
correct. That is
Ugh.
Yeah.
Hey,
exactly.
nice shirt.
Hey.
Oh shit. Well,
Hey, so I was at that cemetery today. That was pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah, I
place.
saw the picture. I haven't had a
Yeah.
chance to look at it.
I'm curious, was there a large contingent of Jewish Confederate soldiers?
Probably. That wouldn't shock me.
well, there.
I found a Jewish Confederate soldier
The,
plaque.
Yeah, I'm looking
I
at
was
him right
like, huh.
There's nothing in the Old Testament against that says anything against slavery. It's actually pretty pro-slavery. So I think they probably would have aired on the
I
Confederate
feel like
side.
you
I'm just
only
saying,
ever
was-
hear
was
about
that- was
large
that like
groups
a
of Jewish
big-
people in like the Northeast.
Well, yeah, but
Well,
I don't know.
this was crazy because a lot of the old graves said where they were born and where they immigrated from,
I thought
and they
it
were
was
all
like
from Prussia. I loved
Yeah.
it. It said Prussia. I was like, that doesn't even exist anymore.
Not even a
Right.
thing anymore. Look at that.
Crazy.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at him right now.
That is great.
That's cool.
Yeah, I really haven't heard of any like Jewish
1870 they established the Hebrew cemetery in that plot, and it's actually in the middle of a huge cemetery that I was walking around, and I saw this big fenced off area, and so
Yeah.
I walked over there, and there was it's actually a separate cemetery inside a cemetery.
Nah, it's like a Vatican situation.
Maybe
It
they
is. It's a Vatican
were
cemetery.
and they were Confederate and they joined the Confederates. They were there with it. They had Confederate on their grave, and maybe the Confederates just killed them. That's why there's no more Jews there.
That's
I don't know. You don't really hear about it. I don't know.
I mean, it's possible. I mean, Jews are really good at picking up the thread of whatever the thing that's going on at the time and being really good at it. So if
you should see all the size of the monuments in the cemetery is just unreal. Like not just the Jews, like all of them.
In general, all of them. Yeah, that's cool.
They were like enormous, like 15, 20 foot tall, and they're
maybe
from the early 1900s.
About,
I'm like, who the fuck was making these things?
Maybe that says something about our fucking inflation and all that shit about how we're all
the Jews were making them all.
Everybody was buried in like a fucking monument back then for the most part. Like,
well, not everybody. Not
you're
everybody.
lucky to get a flat fucking slate stone on a block somewhere.
No, these ones. It's weird because I see them from the same time period and they're never that big, but it must have been like a wealthy town at that time in the early 1900s, the late 1800s. Because there was a whole section of it that was probably from like the 1890s through the 1930s that these things were just enormous. That or somebody local was doing it. That
there's
when you gonna go look at that one out in the middle of fucking nowhere?
I can't wait to go to that one.
Oh, that's
a cemetery. Never visit California. There's a cemetery in Hollywood. I know. It's called Hollywood Forever. And it's where they do like movie premieres and like they did the
even if I make it to California, it will be nowhere near Los Angeles.
I know.
California is corner just to say I stayed there.
I know. It's a super old cemetery, and there are these like massive mausoleums from these like incredibly wealthy families. It's really cool. It's really neat to go. Yeah.
The one I want to go see, Josh found, is in the middle of the state forest, and it's just one grave with a little tiny grave next to it, and there's all these legends about it. It's actually a geocaching site, and so we're trying to dig up what actually happened. But the legend that keeps coming up is the dude is buried there, and the little headstone by his feet is the rattlesnake that bit him. They buried it with him.
That's cool.
And it gets weirder the deeper you dig into this thing too.
Oh, like, yeah.
He died the same fucking year that the National Forest was started. Like they actually requisitioned the land. That like Roosevelt came in and basically eminent domained a bunch of shit. It's like he died around that time. There's no story, but he's buried in this spot that's like on the woods, kind of like within sight of the lake, and it's by itself. Wrought iron fence around a single fucking grave, and people leave all kinds of trinkets and gifts there. And then
that's pretty cool.
But it wasn't a forest when he died.
Crazy thing, yeah. A lot of these, the national forest that's there was all like millions of seedling trees that were planted back in the 30s, right around the time that he died. After these places were overlogged, and the lake that you can see right from the fucking grave wasn't there for 40 fucking years later. It was just a valley. So this literally was a ridge, and there's multiple that they've named the area after him. Nobody knows why. I don't know if it used to be family property or they named it because his grave is the only thing of note there. But literally, it was a ridge on a hill over a valley. So this was the hill the guy died on.
And his wife was buried somewhere else. His kids are buried somewhere else.
Like his great granddaughter, who's posted something about looking into their ancestry and trying to see if I can get a story from her. It's just the deeper you dig, the more intriguing it is.
That's cool.
Yeah.
If you ever find yourself in Carbondale in Southern Illinois, there's this one grave in this graveyard in the middle of town. It's like not a big city by any means. There's this cemetery right there in the middle of town. Yeah. One grave that's above ground. It's like sagging real bad because it's like 100-something years old. Mm-hmm. The guy was from I want to say Virginia or something like that. And he died in the early 1900s and wanted to be buried in Virginia soil, but they couldn't afford to get his body back there. So they just brought some Virginia soil here and put it on him in the grave. Where he was buried above ground here.
Virgin ground.
In the cemetery my grandparents are buried in back in New York. There's a headstone there that's pretty famous. It's actually... They buried a girl. She was killed in high school in a car accident or some weird, strange death. She was super young. And so they buried her. They put this big, beautiful marble, flawless marble monument for her. And like 2 years later, they were out there, and there's like a water stain or something. It's not a water stain. They've tried to clean it off. It's like a silhouette of her face on the side in like stone. It's not like somebody carved it in or
like a natural stain in the stone.
Yeah, but it wasn't there when they buried her.
Weird.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, it's like a local thing. Like people go to see it and shit. I'm like, and so my grandparents were buried there. My mom grew up in the town, so she knew all about it. And when we would go to the 2 funerals, my grandma and grandpa, like we would go over there, and she'd be like, look at this," and you look at it, and it's like, it's almost like it looks like the front of the skull, and then like the back, and then it kind of. It's not like our picture, but you're like,
but it's
shit.
He's just on toast accurate though.
Oh yeah. I mean, you look at it, you go, "Oh, that's a woman's face,"
right?
And then I guess they've looked into it, and it looks eerily similar to her facial features. Like
weird.
Okay.
All right, that's interesting. There's a little town in like southern Illinois, right on the river. I think it's over to Kentucky. Trying to remember now. For years, I was a kid. I was like 10, 12. And it's like Cave in the Rock or something. There's like a ferry there that goes across. I don't know what it was about that town. My parents, my dad wasn't there with us at the time. My mom, everybody who was there and me, even so young, was like the whole town just had that vibe. It was just creeped the fuck out. Like you couldn't get out of there fast enough. Don't know what it was to this day.
I don't know.
Never been back there, but it was just one of those, I don't want to be here kind of vibes the whole time you were there.
Creepy.
Yeah. That's always kind of stuck with me. Well, I hope you're ready to work tomorrow, Brian, because I'm going to work you like a Hebrew slave. Oh, sorry, Patty.
That was awesome. Very nice. That was a good tie back. That was very good.
No, we got some shit to do, but
do I have to sing traditional Hebrew songs while I work?
And do the dances.
Every time I hit the button on the vacuum, I just got to dance.
Every single time.
Yep, for sure.
So I emceed the first ever Hanukkah festival in my town on Sunday night.
How'd that go?
You're gathering as a group of faith when you're being targeted in the area.
That doesn't
sound like a good idea.
Wasn't. It was. I was asked to do it by a new rabbi, and
you have to wear like a Jew suit.
No, I wore the same thing.
A Jew suit.
A black sweater.
You'll know it if you see it.
Last time I heard the term Jew suit, it was referred to the boy in the striped pajamas.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, ouch.
I ran with a rough crew.
So yeah, no, I did. I was super nervous. I almost chickened out like 3 times. And my aunt was like, my aunts were like, just do it. And all my friends were like, it's fine, just do it. So I did it. We had a really good time. So that was kind of fun. Like for like
singing and dancing.
Oh yeah, there was an awesome live band, and they were really good.
Were they?
We had a fire dancer.
They all have like
pigeons.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
Damn.
It was really fun.
I think she missed that.
I did miss it. I didn't hear it. Did they have what?
Any circumcisions?
No circumcisions. That's another event.
I thought that would be like the main attraction.
Different holiday. Now we do that. That's a guy thing. The women
but only adult males.
That's right. Over there. No, but it was cool. It was something that I wouldn't normally do, and I did it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Where's old Scramblin?
In the fourth
Nobody
dimension.
knows. Yeah, he went to the metaverse or something.
If I had to guess, he is high as shit.
Yeah, I'm guessing he's dancing on the roof or something.
Yes. I don't know. I could drive over there. Find out.
Yeah. Before y'all showed up, Jared and I were talking about how high he actually has to be to not make the show, and for how much that would compare to like a normal human.
You'd be dead.
I told Corey that he was going to be in the 4th dimension tonight, and she's like, "Is that any different than last week? What the hell was he talking about?"
If he's warning you that, oh no, he's planning things, and he may not even know what all's involved.
Nope. I should text Chicken Joe. Be like, Chicken Joe, everything good?
Get him on. Sign him on. Let's play.
Yeah.
I'm gonna text him. Are you getting on the show, or are you literally?
Chicken Joe, just click this link and point it at him.
No, let's do it.
Oh,
we're bound to learn something.
Oh yeah. I don't know if we want to see that. We might get permanently banned from YouTube.
That's worth it.
Well, yeah.
Hey, Josh. I'm gonna definitely need you not to forget that pound of coffee.
I've got it sitting right here.
That's fantastic.
Something.
Maybe somebody might have been in the fourth dimension when they mailed my package to fucking Minnesota.
I think so. After 2 months of him being down here and receiving coffee,
I haven't had a package mailed to Minnesota since
you ordered one there.
We don't need to see any bald background ladies murder Brian.
But the ornaments to Brian's out ended up being really cute. Do you guys?
I would love to put it on my Christmas tree, but it's not going to be here in time.
Darn it.
I wish he was here. I'd just bust his shit about it the whole time. He tried to blame Chicken Joe.
If I remember,
everything's Chicken Joe's fault.
Because I'm not going to fuck with the Christmas tree. It's just not worth my time dicking with it. If I remember, maybe I'll bring you the one he sent me, and y'all can hang it up on your tree.
Nope. I don't want it.
It's not
I
the
want
same.
mine.
It's not good enough.
Well, that's fine.
His
is what I really wanted.
Hang it on your tree for me.
I wanted some solstice bread on the solstice.
Right.
I wanted the cocoa for Christmas morning.
I haven't done the cocoa yet either. Yeah,
I'm saving it. I thought I was supposed to be at a party, but then I think the party got put off. First, there was going to be a solstice party. Am I supposed to be over there? I don't know what I'm doing.
Are you allowed to do solstice parties and Hanukkah parties?
Did they uninvite you?
No, I just don't know if it was actually happening because they were like not feeling good.
Are the Hanukkah people going to be upset you did like a pagan thing?
I do all the things.
No.
We joke that I'm Jewish, right?
Do they the Jews get mad if you think about other things like that? Like
they would literally say don't suffer a witch to live. They want
depends on which Jews, right? So like the super Orthodox ones, yeah, they probably would, but I wouldn't know anything about that.
You gotta watch out for the ones.
They used to let me go to all the seders with my Jewish friends.
Like most of us do not care at all.
No, you just gotta watch out for the ones that wear the little top hats and they have the long little danglies.
Dude, those chocolate seders. Oh,
they're like the gangsters.
Fuck. My buddy's like, we smoked a bunch of dope, and he's like, dude, there's a chocolate seder. You're gonna go with me? I'm like, what the fuck is that?
And it was all chocolate?
Yeah.
Stop.
He says, you got to come with me. He goes, this temple. So we were at college, so we would go to temple up there, and he's like, this temple is fucking insane, man. You got to come with me.
Great, yeah.
He's like, you gotta come with me. So we smoked a bunch of dope and went over there. I was like, oh my god, I'm converting.
That sounds fantastic. Like most Jewish holidays are about eating and drinking. I mean, the one in the spring.
To be fair, most holidays everywhere for everybody.
The one in the spring, it's a commandment to get drunk.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
Alan took me to that one too.
That's good stuff.
I was all in when he said, "Yeah, you got to get drunk."
And then like you get a noisemaker, and you just like your job is to be drunk and obnoxious. For, like,
you got to get drunk.
So it's 4th of July.
Basically, yeah.
Jew of July.
4th of July.
4th of July.
Is that a hate crime?
No.
Oh, that's all right. I told Josh
that's
earlier.
a hate crime. I would need to be like fucking locked up in the gulag or something like that.
Oh, I was telling Josh earlier that I was talking to you on the after party chat, and I was talking to the landowner here whose name is Julie, and I was talking to Corey. I'm like, hey, Jewy, I talked to Jewy, and she's like, what?
What?
I don't know. Maybe it was Patty, maybe it was Julie, but it came out Jewy.
Okay. So this was back like when I lived with my non-Jewish relatives, like non-Jewish grandparents. When I was in high school, I went to a camp and I was the only Jew at the whole camp. And I had really good friends who used to yell down the dorms, Jew!
Hey, maybe
did they make you wear a star so they knew who you were?
Maybe they wouldn't know if you stopped acting so Jewy, damn it.
And I'd be like, what? It's like before I knew anything about holidays.
Just worrying all the time and
yeah, stressed out about everything, and I didn't know why.
worrying about stuff like picking a career because it's makes the most money. You know, like,
do I want to be a banker? Do I want to be a lawyer?
I know I hated numbers, so
she didn't like math. She was screwed.
That's if you ask a lot of lawyers if they're like, "Why did you become a lawyer?" They're like, "Because we don't like math."
Because we like to lie to people.
That's actually not like that's kind of against the rules to lie to people, but
it's against the rules, sure.
Yeah, we have ethics codes that we're not supposed to lie.
Mm-hmm.
I've hired a lot of lawyers.
Often lie. Often lie. Lawyers are not supposed to.
Yeah, they'll put it this way. They may not want to lie, but they're very good at making the truth appear very flexible.
They're not supposed to. They do. Yeah. Which is why I'm in an area of law that none of that shit goes on. Like I just we're
my ideal lawyer would be Saul Luckman.
From Better Call Saul. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
Yep. That's my type of lawyer right there.
As long as they're on your side, it's okay.
Well, yeah. I mean,
you don't want the guy that says,
just let's make sure we turn off all recording devices before we have this conversation. And I can't tell anybody anything you say, so lay it out there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my excuse. If anybody ever wants to try to do a search on my phone or some shit like that, I'll be like, look, I have a lot of people that I talk to. I'm an ordained minister, and that is privileged information. So you're going to need a warrant to search it. Sorry.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm going to have to ask you to go fuck yourself.
That's protected.
I'm triple ordained now, I think.
Yeah. You are?
Well, Squirming Coil, Dudism, and the what is it? The Unified Life Church, or
I got that one. I gotta get me a card or something.
And there's another one. If
I gotta marry somebody, I'm gonna be like, okay, I will marry you, but I have to let my squirming coil out during the ceremony to make it official.
Oh yeah.
I'll be like, what?
By the power vested in me by the squirming coil itself.
What you got a duck penis or what?
That's Scramblin's church.
I know. I know. I was playing the uninformed layman.
Oh, yes.
I love the duck penis video.
Oh yeah.
The one where the guy it's like the Wild World Outdoors or whatever, where he's just talking and he's like explaining about the duck penis, and he's just deadpan serious like it's a National Geographic special. And he's like, and it's a long curly with spikes on the end, and he inserts it into the woman, into the female duck. He's going on and on.
Have you ever actually seen it?
Talking to each other.
Not seen it. I will find it.
If you've ever seen it in person, my God.
Give me a second. I'll find it.
Ducks and geese.
Brian's gonna
and it's actually even weirder. Like the females, like their uterus has multiple different channels and coils and shit like that too. And they close them off so they can like redirect it to an area without eggs if they choose. They don't want this guy breeding me to fertilize.
They got fake passageways, trap doors.
It's bizarre, and they're like ducks and geese. Waterfowl in general are the only birds that have penises.
Is that why the really old politicians are so confused about how things actually work in humans? They just know about ducks.
They don't know what
they only know. Sorry, I'm familiar with duck penises. I'm not sure how this work out.
I have only fucked a duck.
That's the only explanation I can come up with.
It's the only thing that makes any sense, apparently.
Yeah, I don't think that makes any sense either, but
Brian's trying to share something. I'm just gonna blindly approve.
Facts.
Sure.
Here we will explore true facts about the duck. This is a video of a baby duck. Do we have any facts? They are yellow. Oh, geez, this one's gonna suck. Duck is a common name for a wide variety of waterfowl that are related to the goose and the swan. Look at these ducks. They are dabbling ducks that feed close to the surface. They have all sorts of specialized bills that let them strain the water. Some even have actual strainers.
Anus.
Look at this merganser. It has a pointy beak that helps it dive to catch fish. Look at this Argentine ruddy duck. It has a 9-inch corkscrew penis. What is that? That's the kind of holy crap! What the hell? Only 3% of birds have penises, and the duck is part of that 3%. To understand a corkscrew penis, imagine a penis shaped like a corkscrew. How does that help explain this? In fact, the corkscrew penis is only one half of a bizarre case of sexual coevolution. The other half is a female's corkscrew vagina, which incredibly corkscrews in the opposite direction, making mutual corkscrewing rather difficult. To understand this, imagine a vagina in the shape of a corkscrew in the opposite... What? You're asking them to imagine exactly what I just said. That doesn't help. You have to use a metaphor. All right, I'll redo it. To understand this, imagine a metaphor. You can't just use the word metaphor. That's not... just show them. What you are looking at here are the weapons of a kind of sexual warfare. Male ducks are notoriously aggressive and will often force themselves on females violently, sometimes
That's just
even
birds
killing them.
generally.
One scientist, C.W. Molliker, even
Ducks
documented
gang
a case of
rape.
homosexual necrophilia, pretty
do
much
quail.
unique in the bird world. Because it is an advantage not to have babies with a duck you know nothing about and who is quite frankly an asshole, the female duck has evolved a vagina that makes forcible entry nearly impossible. They even have fake pouches and dead ends in their corkscrew. Males, on the other hand, have had to evolve to try and keep up. They have what is safe to say an explosive penis. Told you. Researcher Patricia
Like a
Brennan has cataloged how this crazy
slime
organ will
hole.
try and make its way through almost any shape. In some cases, the duck penis even has barbs on it to sway competing sperm. Not only that, but it withers and falls off after each mating season. And when it grows back in proportion to how many rivals it has. The more rivals, the longer the penis. Yes, beneath this cute exterior, an evolutionary war rages on. To understand it, imagine yourself naked in a bathtub full of raw hot dogs. Really? That's your metaphor? All right,
Every
good
morning.
try. We can work on it.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. No, I mean, male
Well
ducks
done.
are like they seriously. If you don't cull down to like a minimum number of drakes, you start losing hens at an exponential rate because they will all pile up and like gang rape the fuck out of all
It's
of
the
the
same
hens.
thing with
And you'll
quails.
just come out
I feel
with
like it's just a
flat-dead hens
bird
in the yard.
quality.
Well, that's not. I mean, ducks are like worse than most other birds. I mean, compared to geese, compared to chickens, compared to even Muscovies, regular domestic ducks, massive rapists. Like roosters can be bad, but ducks are a whole different ballgame.
Can you imagine if the fourth dimension was here and he got to watch the duck corkscrew penis?
Oh my god!
Wow.
Tripping on that corkscrew,
Where's my telegram? I'm gonna tag him.
right?
Bye, Brian.
Oh, see who's pulling in here. Somebody in a truck. I'm like, all right, don't be that cop again. Don't be that guy. Anyway,
Kids don't be cops.
right? Exactly. Now somebody's pulling up right beside me, looking at me like a weirdo. Cool, man.
Oh, look who decided to come back.
Hey, what's up, Brian?
What makes you think I would allow you this time?
I accidentally hit back on the browser. And
Oh,
went back.
Oh, likely story.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can leave if you want.
Oh, this guy wants to talk to me. Hold on just a second. What the heck? What?
I'm sorry. The museum closes at dark, man.
Oh, okay. I'll be. Yeah, I'll get out of here, man. All right.
Have a good night.
Does it look
Right.
like you're going into a
Right.
museum?
Right.
Right.
Got it. I don't care. Yeah, fuck off, dude.
Was it a
Museum
cop?
closes in the dark. No, some random dude.
It's a random dude.
If you're a cop, you got to tell me you're a cop.
Yeah, right. That's how it works.
The museum
Okay.
closes at dark.
Fuck off, dude.
Thanks for sharing.
Cool.
Cool.
Get out and
Well,
take a piss on the hood of your truck, on the hood of your car.
Right.
You're like,
Let him know
"I'm
you're
fucking
crazy.
man."
Like, I know I want to get out of here a little earlier tonight anyway because I got shit to unload, but I'm no fucking hurry because of some dude in a truck. Fuck off.
Right? You're like, thanks for letting me
Make
know.
me.
You should just hunch over and
Start shaking.
Right? Oh, shit.
Come to the driver's window real quick.
Right? No. I should just go fucking park in a different spot.
In the same lot.
One over.
Yeah.
It's just the one next to it. Yeah,
Just
left
back up into the row right behind you.
Right? Fucking dumbasses.
Oh shit.
The park closes in the dark. I don't give a fuck if the museum closes.
What kind of museum is it?
It's a Sam Houston birthplace museum. It's not actually his birthplace, but they built a replica of the house he was born in and grew up in this park. Next to, there's like an actual like museum.
Is there a replica baby of Sam Houston laying in like the
I don't know.
Something?
I have not run across like a little baby Sam Houston in like a manger or anything. So I haven't gone and explored it all. But they do have like reenactors out here, like period reenactors at times and shit like that. It's kind of goofy. But that's where that duck pond is and everything too. Yeah. Kind of cool little spot, but hey, free Wi-Fi. Fuck it.
Free Wi-Fi, yeah, that works.
Mm-hmm.
Is it private property or is it public?
It's university property.
Public.
Sam Houston University. So like, they even
you should get a student ID and you should be able to sit there anytime you want.
Not after dark.
Even the students aren't allowed to be on university property.
Yeah.
I tell them I'm doing a research project.
Right.
How many people come to the Sam Houston Museum? Maybe we should extend the hours to 8 o'clock instead of.
We're discussing avian breeding, and we were doing a podcast talking about duck penises and whatnot. And we were actually measuring if the ducks here on the duck pond, if there's more instances of them breeding after dark than there is during the daylight. So I'm here doing an observational study, and I am, working with my colleagues here. If you'd like to weigh in on the subject, do you know a lot about duck fucking? Have you witnessed a lot of duck fucking out here? And do you think maybe you could give us some insight on this phenomenon?
On the habits of your local ducks?
Yeah, absolutely. The habits of this local population could be very important. We want to know if it varies regionally.
Is there electricity at the Sam Houston Museum?
They have a building with electricity, yeah.
So why the fuck does it have to be closed at dark?
It's a government job.
I think they're worried about crackheads coming out here and shit. I don't know.
It's a government job, and they quit whenever they want to.
I thought it was university.
And there's kids fucking walking through
public here. University? Is Sam Houston private or public? Is that a Texas State University?
It's not. I don't know if it's a state university or not. Honestly, it's Sam Houston. I'm assuming it's a state funded.
Is there really Sam Houston Institute of Technology?
I'm not sure.
Shit.
That'd be awesome. But
my dad used to fucking say that all the time. He'd be like, you got to go to Sam Houston Institute of Technology so I could go to the games and go SHIT.
Yeah, wouldn't that be awesome?
Churldish.
What was the other? Where was old Charles Whitman? He was at Texas A&M.
Something like that.
I think it was Texas A&M. You all know who Charles Whitman is, right?
The name's super familiar.
I know.
The dude that went up in the tower and started picking people off.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, we knew who that was. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was Texas A&M, maybe. Isn't that right in Huntsville?
I don't think it was. Wasn't it Huntsville?
Is it Texas A&M in Huntsville?
No, that's
A&M is College Station.
Bryan College Station. Yep.
Oh, what's the one in Huntsville?
Sam Houston University.
So
that's why it's the Sam Houston birthplace and all this shit. And Sam Houston Museum right here is all Sam Houston. Yeah.
I need more margarita.
Oh, Nicole is on Telegram asking about duck penises. Is it duck penises or peni?
Oh, I don't know.
I think
that's
it's
a great
penises.
Question.
I feel like it should be
fantastic connection.
I feel like it should be peenies.
Peenies, yeah, peenies.
But I think it's penises.
Peni.
Because I believe it's Greek and it would never go EI.
But what if it's PENI? Peni.
Peni.
No.
Peenie?
I don't know about that.
No.
Just penis.
I mean, is it the fact that we should never be talking about more than one penis at a time?
Right.
Right.
Maybe that's why.
We never made a plural because you should never talk about more than one at a time.
God. All right, this will be interesting because I get to fucking.
Are you live streaming your arrest right now? He's gone. He's gone.
I want to see him flop.
Don't tase me, bro.
Oh my god! Look at him. He's all frozen in fear.
I know. Let's see if we can.
I think he
center
saw.
on
I
him.
think he saw Sam Houston's ghost.
Wait, hold on. Can we put the focus on him?
Oh yeah.
There we go.
Oh, look at Josh. He's all scared.
How you doing, Josh?
Hey, Josh. How's it going? Having a good day? Yeah, I'm having a good time. I cut some deer today. Cut some steaks up, and yeah.
Actually, we got to drain the water out of the well here in the next couple days.
I have to drain my trailer.
And we lost him.
Did you lose both of them? Oh no, you and Brian still here.
Yeah, we got some major cold prep going on today.
Yeah, you have
For
to.
me, I cut up a bunch of fucking wood to burn, and we had to figure out our water situation because I think I got to drain my tanks because it's gonna be below freezing for more than 24 hours, and I'll probably freeze right up.
Does your trailer have the heated underbelly where the tanks are? No. Yeah, then you got to drain them.
Yeah, if I wanted to throw some skirting up and go buy a heater, I could do that, but it's like 2 days, and I'm like, fuck that. Then I got to store it when I travel and all that shit.
Yeah,
I'm like,
no, mine's
That is true.
Mine was. I used to leave the heater on.
Yeah. Yeah, we have like it's a material under there. It's like it's almost like the shit they make political signs out of, that like poster board shit. That's on the bottom of the trailer, but I don't believe there's any heat under there. So
no, they have to have like, that's why I got I was looking at a couple different kinds of truck campers, and the one that I got like forces the heat and it's all enclosed on there. So with those,
our next one will be way more. I think when we buy it, we'll probably go smaller and more off-road, like the higher rated, wider axles, and the higher sitting one, so you can get over a lot more of bullshit. And then 4-season, because we're not 4-season because we never wanted to be any cold, so it's like, why the hell spend all the extra money on the 4-season when I don't plan on going camping in the cold?
No, there's really only like one couple companies that make a real 4-season trailer. One of them is Roughneck, and they make them in Canada. But the Roughneck ones are meant for using on the slope in Alaska. They are badass. Like,
well,
like
I think Eric in the TSP groups, he had a camper. I can't remember what kind it was, but he had the double fiberglass walls, the double fiberglass insulated walls in between. Mm-hmm. He said, but he stayed in some cold shit with his. He was traveling for work and stuff, and somebody else was talking about they got to go stay in Omaha for the winter, and I was like, have fucking fun.
We had ours in below zero for a couple of days, and it did okay. I think if I had skirted it, it would have been totally fine.
Oh, if I skirt ours, I mean, without the skirting, it just sucks the heat through the floor.
Yeah. So I don't know what I'm going to do
under the trailer, and it's like a siphon effect out the bottom.
When I have a truck camper, I don't know if I can. I was looking at those. They have air skirting. They blow up. They go around the edge, and then you inflate them. And they, but I don't know if that'll work for a truck camper. So I don't know. I don't know how to do it. I mean, the truck camper is supposed to be 4-season, as much as they are, but.
I was trying to figure out what to do with water, because we usually use the 70-gallon tank in the truck, and then the tank in the camper, and then we have like 2 6-gallon jugs. And I'm like, well, I can't leave the water in the truck because it's going to freeze in the truck. You can't leave it in the tank in the camper. So I was like, Josh is going to grab me a couple of food grade 5-gallon buckets, so I'll have like 20 gallons there. And then I was like, oh, I got a fucking cooler. It's like it's a Yeti knockoff, Arctic or whatever. I'm like, oh, it seals. I was like, I don't want to carry that shit inside. I was like, oh fuck, it could stay outside for a day. It's not gonna freeze out. It's not gonna, when it's sealed, it's gonna it's a temperature barrier one way or the other. It doesn't matter if it's hot on the outside or the inside.
You could throw a stock tank heater in your barrel, and that probably Yeah, I mean you could. But.
Well, I got I could. It's not a barrel. It's it's a poly tank in the front of the bed, and I got hoses that run in and out of it. So the hoses are usually full of water, so I drain those out today, and yeah, it's just. And I talked to the landlord. She's only going to have the water out for like a day.
Okay.
So, and she's like, "Oh, if you get in a pinch, you can come up to the house and fill it up there. That's the only water that's going to be on the 400 acres." Like, okay.
We're gonna get. I think at 15 is the low tonight, is what I saw.
I think 19 tomorrow overnight is 15 or 19 or something like that.
I'm trying to decide if I want to put a second heater in my greenhouse. It's been doing fine. The lowest it's gotten out there is 38 so far. But tonight I'm like, maybe it needs extra.
Do you have? Oh, it's tonight.
Yeah.
I was gonna say if it's tomorrow night, I would go get a bunch of leaves and grass and mix them together and let it start composting and heat that shit up.
Yeah.
Well, it wouldn't be. It's not a long-term solution. I tried to do it in Minnesota. It lasted for like 2 weeks, and I was like, I can't fucking turn this anymore. The outside is all frozen, and the inside's like 180 degrees.
If the snow hadn't melted, that really insulates the greenhouse, but it all melted off, so now it's just cold, which is cool.
That was the game we always played in Minnesota in the beginning of the year. Was like you wanted to get really cold so the ice would melt or the ice would freeze before it would freeze just a little bit, and then it would snow, and then you'd have shitty ice all year because it was insulated from freezing the ice solid, and then so you'd have like stratified ice, and then but if it got cold and it didn't snow, you'd get super thick clear ice, which was fantastic for ice fishing.
Well, I'm worried about for avalanches out here. If it's supposed to get really cold and snow, and then it's going to get warm, and then it's going to snow again. So we're going to have a layer of like shit instability, and then a bunch of snow on top of it, and we're going to get like in another month or two, like really scary avalanches is what I'm worried about. Like, no.
Didn't get arrested.
Hey.
No, I just disconnected my shit by accident. No, I fucking accidentally knocked my fucking Wi-Fi antenna out of my. I've got an external fucking Wi-Fi thing on my laptop so I can get a better signal to shit, and I knocked it out. But I just pulled around to the other side of the fucking museum and parked over in the student parking where you're supposed to have a permit, but school's out, so nobody's coming in and fucking checking the lots. So fuck them.
Got 'em.
Same Wi-Fi.
You're also sitting in the car, so you're not actually parked.
All right, exactly. I mean, I could put it in drive and put my foot on the brake if it fucking makes you feel better. I mean, shit.
You're parked in a fire lane. What? So if the fire engines come and I move, that's a problem?
I didn't leave the car there. Like,
right. Who the fuck is this?
We were supposed to have 3 days of school this week, and we only ended up having about a half of one because they canceled.
We went and got we went to get Corey wanted to put the Christmas tree up, so she went to get eggnog, and they were out of eggnog, so she went Texas Christmas and bought margarita.
That works.
That works too.
What'd you guys think of my Christmas tree? Did you see it?
Yeah,
I did not see
I like it.
Oh yeah, it's a pole with a cable spool at the bottom.
What was that I said? It's a
classy
Christmas tree in the sheets, but it's a maypole in the field.
Yeah. As soon as it gets dark, and so it's nice because the lights are on a solar panel, and on the light dark they come on by themselves, and so we just sit here all day looking at this pole with all these Christmas lights hanging off it. It starts to get dark, and all of a sudden it looks like a Christmas tree.
Well, I just have the 12-foot Hanukkah bear in the front yard.
You put a Hanukkah bear in your front yard, and you're being targeted for being Jewish?
Well, I'm a cul-de-sac off a cul-de-sac. We don't really get people up here. If I was on the main drag,
Corey's wondering what a Hanukkah bear is. Is that like a Jewish thing?
Hanukkah bear.
Or is that just like a bear holding a...
It's a bear holding a cradle.
Okay.
Cradle, we made you out of clay. Cradle, cradle, cradle.
No, you have to do it in the Cartman voice.
I'm going to sing that all day tomorrow. Don't worry.
Oh, God, I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will.
Yeah, I got to package up some ground beef tomorrow morning.
Oh, yeah, it's going to pull ground deer, but yeah, there's going to be a bunch. There's gonna be
No, I have I have to bring.
Oh, you got some new on a package? Yeah, no, fine.
Oh, there's a private.
Patty put a link for the Jew bear.
For the Jew bear.
Jew bear. Okay.
Jew is in the URL.
Man,
Did you notice that?
It is.
No, I did not. It is in the URL.
That's a hate crime.
Wow.
Amazon with the hate crime.
I just copied that from Amazon.
That's terrible.
I don't know what 7 and
Nice
Jude
one,
mean.
Amazon.
Nice one.
what's the hate crime?
Oh, we just
The
address.
URL.
the URL is 7ETJEWD. It's the actually.
Oh no, shit! It is.
To Jude.
You've been Jew.
Oh, this bear's been Jewed.
That's an awful
wow.
fucking Jewy address, right?
It was a Christmas bear, but we Jewed it. Now it has a dreidel.
Now it has a dreidel and sunglasses, which I thought was appropriate. Yeah, he's. I didn't
Welcome
look
to the Anti-Semite Hour.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I didn't look at the dimensions.
All
when
right, I hate all religions. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, exactly.
So it showed up, and I plugged
Whatever
it in.
you believe, you're probably wrong too.
Yeah, exactly right. It really is. It really is 11 and a half feet tall. I was like,
Wow.
11 and a half feet tall. Holy
11
fucking
and a half
God.
foot tall bear.
Oh, it's like in Glorious Bastards. It's the bear Jew.
I put that thing in my front yard and went, oh, HOA is gonna love that.
All I can think of is that fucking
Got on
movie.
the roof, please.
All I can think of is that movie Ted with like him
Oh,
at a
with
bar
the bear.
mitzvah. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
what is this
so
fucking shit?
that movie was so weird.
Oh, it is. It is. I didn't even see the whole thing, but damn.
They made a second one too.
Oh, they
Yeah,
did?
I believe
I
there
didn't
is
know
a second one.
Yeah.
Damn, I had no idea.
Glorious Bastards. They made a second one.
No, Ted.
Ted.
I was
Oh,
like,
the
that's going to
bear.
be kind of tough. I'm pretty sure a lot of them died in the movie.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, yeah, leave it to like Marvel or something to do something like that.
Well, yeah.
Marvel
Doesn't matter
made
if you
Ted.
die, you'll come back.
Marvel made 10 with a cape.
Maybe. No, they could have. Maybe.
I don't know.
He turns into Wolverine. He
Yeah.
like rips the stuffing out
Yeah.
of himself and he's
Paws out of
Wolverine.
the bear.
He'll be one of the Avengers eventually. Come on, let's be honest.
Ted. Just Ted.
You ever watch old stuff that you watched
Right.
like 10 years ago and you're like, this is so bad. I don't understand. Like,
No, the problem is I watch stuff now and I'm like, wow, this is really
Well.
fucking bad.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a lot of that.
I just kind of mostly quit watching stuff in general, other than stupid internet shit. Yeah. I still watch shit. It's just not movies.
Yellowstone is the most current thing that I
It's,
watch.
it's the horrible shit that I choose.
Right,
Yellowstone
exactly.
is not.
It's whatever Brian sends me on TikTok.
Oh yeah.
Naked ladies doing
So,
yoga.
go
Dude,
yoga.
did you see
Oh,
Jared?
that's
Did you
actually
see
one
the
of
chick
mine.
with the butt tampon?
Oh,
No.
yeah.
No.
Dude, we both stitched that.
Oh, we both
fucking
stitched it.
that.
Yeah, I should probably.
I don't
find that.
ever see anything from anybody I follow. I just see
Stupid shit. Yeah.
assumedly girls trying to attract mates.
I don't
have
think they're
to
trying to
watch.
attack me.
Just
No, they're
a
trying to
lot of
attract money.
attract money, whatever. A lot of booby posting, and
Blood
the
thirst
like.
cabbage. Yes, there
Yeah.
is.
Yikes.
But that's all Facebook and Instagram is too now. Like you'll be
Yeah.
scrolling
I don't
through
see that on
Facebook,
my
all
Instagram.
the
I've
fucking
curated
reels
my
and nothing
Instagram
but
very
fucking
well.
Underage girls shaking their ass, and I'm like, why is Facebook pushing 12-year-old girls doing TikTok dances in my face? I don't want that.
See,
Even
I stopped
TikTok
using
stopped showing
Facebook.
me most of that.
I stopped using Facebook years ago, and I've curated
Oh, I don't.
my
I
Instagram
have like 2 or 3
content
people
very
there that I
carefully.
keep up with. Yeah, I keep up with a few people there, so I scroll through and check it now and then. I'm not really active there at all, but it amazes me the difference in like the platforms. It's interesting to see what things the algorithms push to you. And I can tell you right now, Facebook is a pedophile because it
Gross.
seriously shows like 12-year-old girls dancing shit constantly to me as an
That's
adult male. And
terrifying.
there's nothing to indicate that that's something I'm into. I'm not
Right.
saying they're watching that.
We hope.
TikTok has figured out that no, you don't want to see the underage girls anymore. It doesn't show me that shit as much. You know?
I did create a TikTok
Instagram
account.
is just all girls wanting fucking money. That's the whole fucking
platform. My Instagram is just people that I actually know. I don't see a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, it's just people that I follow. Specifically, a lot of
but you have to actually find
gun and 3D printing content.
There you are. Yep.
And funny animals.
So I did create an account. I've not posted anything, but I have to turn them off. But I was getting alerts on my phone, and my husband saw me get like a TikTok alert, and he goes, "Did you download TikTok?" And I was like, "Yeah, but it's fine. Whatever." And he's like, "They're recording everything you do on your phone," and I was like,
"They already are."
Yeah, I was like, "Yeah." So is everybody else. And if you think Google's not selling it to China, I don't know what to tell you.
Nope.
Right. Tell him to stop acting so Jewish and quit worrying about it.
Well, he's Catholic.
Maddie, I need your opinion on this chick, okay?
Oh, God. What are you going to show me? I'm
right. Hold on.
Crazy, but if you ever accidentally put a tampon in your bum.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that does seem crazy because anytime I've ever actually gotten close to a girl's bum, I think that's what you called it. Yeah, they knew it. It was well, except for Kim. But Kim's a whore.
It may seem crazy, but if you've ever accidentally put a tampon in your bum.
Not a thing. Not a thing. Nope. Not a thing.
That was when I stitched it before Brian. I was like, no, this is. I'm just giving you shit. I was like, I'm sorry, but that wasn't no accident. No, ma'am.
Absolutely no, ma'am.
No, that you did that on purpose. You didn't accident. Oh, what did I say? I said,
No
how
one
the hell did you get a cootie corch up your booty hole?
No one,
a cooter cork.
Poop shoot. A cootie
no
cork.
one has ever gotten away with saying that was an accident.
Never.
Right?
No. And everybody in the ER
The
laughed.
comments about were great.
There's more plausible. There's more plausible a reason that the one that Aaron posted today about the guy accidentally gluing his eyes shut was super.
I did see that one.
I can see that you like doing a project and you wipe your eye. Yeah, I can see that.
Oh no, he said he thought it was eye drops. He grabbed it and his eyes were stinging. He grabbed it and went.
That's so
I still
bad.
say he opened
That's
YouTube
gotta...
and he ran across the after party and was like, I don't want to see anything anymore. I'm done. I've seen everything. No more.
But wait, we have great art.
Right?
Yeah, I love it.
Oh,
I had wallpaper on my wall with
those
that.
aren't the eardrops. No, stop.
No, stop.
I want to.
They will stop the
film
bleeding,
ear
though.
canals with super glue.
Hot glue gun right in the ear canal. I'll make my own earplugs, damn it.
I accidentally put 2 tampons in my ears. How did that happen?
Now that should be a TikTok. Right there. We need like a fake head, like one of those Target
Have
dummies.
you ever accidentally put
with
tampons
the string
in your
hanging out of
ears?
it?
Don't take them out of your ears and put them in your mouth because bacteria from the wax can make you sick.
It will so definitely get taken down on TikTok and maybe give me an account warning.
Hold on,
But next time somebody brings me a deer head, I need to shove a tampon down it and have the string hanging out the fucking deer's head and be like, have you ever accidentally put a tampon in? I don't have any tampons laying around to do this with.
Your deer. That's a good one.
Where how do I find out who this chick is, Josh?
What chick?
Like,
I don't know what you're talking
about. To show the whole video.
The idiot.
Oh, hers. Click on the sound or the what you stitch. Like it should show like stitch with whatever. You can click on her and it should take you to the original video.
Dude,
the sad but successful attempt at engagement farming.
This is on. This is actually on desktop, so I don't.
Well, I'd have to go look. Let's see. I said I could probably find it on the one I did, but yeah.
The new low is like
I got the feeling that she's some sort of like a educator in that area or whatnot, but multiple people were like, she's not really talking about a tampon. I'm like, she's talking about how to get it out of your butt.
He's actually talking about that.
I'm pretty sure she's actually talking about that. It's
Okay, I think I got
it. Educational in case something ends up your butt you didn't know about.
I have a friend.
here's you.
I have a friend that did her medical residency rotation at the psych ER at Kaiser Oakland.
Right.
She's got good stories.
I'm sure they always have stories about stuff up people's butts and whatnot.
Yeah.
None of them were put there by accident.
None of them were an accident.
You didn't accidentally slip in the shower and have your wife's fucking 3-liter fucking hair fucking soap shit end up your ass. No, but you hear shit about that all the time. You didn't accidentally get a light bulb up your ass unbroken, okay?
Yeah.
Dude, she's got testicle keychains.
That's weird.
Nice. Are they real testicles?
I don't know. Oh, here's the tampon bomb.
What kind of testicles? Are they human or like?
No,
like
that's a
rabbit?
black vagina.
Like,
be like a Lucky Rabbit's nuts keychain.
like a lucky duck
new
penis?
thing, Jared.
I don't know. I saw one
you
that
know?
when you're leaving
Like
Australia,
Colex.
you can get kangaroo nuts. You can get a kangaroo scrotum keychain.
I get people occasionally want me to save a cow's dick so they can dry it to make it do like a walking stick. That's a thing.
That's super weird too.
It's actually a thing.
I believe you. It's still super
They
weird.
will take it and they'll take it between 2 fence posts and like twist it up and whatnot and let it dry. And inevitably all in the basket. So whatever happened to the old bull dick? And usually it's old neighbor dog ran off with it.
My wife ran off with it and left me.
Oh, dude, I gotta tell you a story. So
This is gonna be a good one.
my buddy used to go out to Wisconsin to go deer hunting, and so it was like a 400-500 acre thing, and then they each had like 30-acre plots that they would rent out to different families for a long time and shit. So he'd been hunting there for a long time, and basically you'd go in and park at the house, and there were trails that would go out, and you'd go down the main trail, and to go to each thing you'd kind of like branch off, but they weren't labeled or anything in the woods. So he invites his buddy up there to go hunting with him, and it's cold as shit in Wisconsin. And so his buddy calls him, he's running late, and he's like, all right, well, I'm going to leave you a marker where to turn. And so he's walking out to the thing, and he just lays a coil next to the trail. He just drops trow in the dark and lays a big old fucking turd.
Marker?
Yeah, so he's like, oh, my buddy's going to be walking. And like, if you knew him, you'd be like, oh, that makes perfect sense. And so his buddy comes out, and he's like, 3 hours later, there's no cell signal there. So there's like 3 hours later, he fucking rolls up to his stand, and he's like, where the hell have you been? He's like, were you late and you didn't want to ruin the early hunt or something? He goes, no, what the hell sign? Like, I've been walking all over this fucking place, and I haven't been able to find any sign you left me to turn. He's like, you didn't see the big turd? And he's like, no. What the hell are you talking about? So he's just like, oh, he missed it, whatever. So they hunt for the day. They're coming back, and they're going back to the barn. And the farmer that leases all the land standing there. So they stop, and they're bullshitting with him. And he's like, did you see anything today? And he's like, no. And they're talking. He's like, well, how was your day? Did you hear many shots? He's like, hadn't heard a shot, but man, I had to deal with my goddamn dog. He's like, goddamn fucker was choking on a fucking stick. Goddamn swallowing a stick, and comes up here and he's hawking it up, and I had to reach in his throat and pull the stick out. Blah, blah, blah. And Doug's like, oh, Jesus Christ, it was a fucking frozen turd. The fucking dog came out after the turd was frozen, fucking grabbed it. And then his buddy wasn't able to find how to get to the goddamn stand because the dog ate the turd.
That's not where I thought you were going with it. I thought you were going to say the old farmer was like, y'all might want to be careful in the woods. I've been seeing scat that makes me think Sasquatch might be in these parts.
No, but we walked the dogs down the dirt road that after all that rain we had, it's all just like super smushy. Oh, yeah. You should see the size of their paw prints. Like that big paw prints, they're 180 pound dog, but holy shit, when it's super smushy.
Oh my God, there's wolves.
Corey's like, wolves? It's like 3 times the size of a wolf. My old German
Damn.
Shepherd had the same size paws as a wolf. I'm like, can you
Fucking
imagine
dire wolf.
a camper walking down the street or down the road and like seeing these footprints like encased in the dirt? Like, what the fuck?
Holy shit.
Sasquatch.
Uh-huh.
But their toes are all spread out because it's like not very good traction, so they're trying to like figure out what's going on, and they're all spread out. And I'm like, oh man, that's huge.
It's like the size of your head.
Hmm?
Yeah, these some big ones. These some big puppies. Oh
Yeah, Corey. I was walking barefoot and I hit it, and it like slid. I slid,
You hit
and
that
my
wet
foot
clay.
was like a size 20.
You got that wet sand that like hits the top of that clay, and it's just like glass, just walking on snot. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I was driving home the other day on those dirt roads.
Yeah, I was hearing
it was
you
just
talking
like
about that.
fucking ice.
Yeah,
it's just
that
like
fucking
Minnesota
fucking-
black ice.
When that red clay shit, that red and like gumbo clay shit, and you'll get the combination of it, that shit gets wet, man, it's like the sloppiest mud ever. It's like that slimy snot shit they used to have on that Nickelodeon show where the kids used to go slide. Yeah, remember that crap? What was that, slime?
Yeah.
Or whatever
Yep, it was
crap.
just
You remember
slime.
that? Yeah.
Yep.
Like
What was
the
that
weird
guy's name? Mark.
multicolored-
Mark.
Nick Cannon?
No, from Double Dare.
I don't know. Double Dare.
Mark.
I barely remember it.
Fuck.
I just remember it's like, wow, this was back when it was okay to like spray kids down with snot on national TV.
Oh, Double Dare was an awesome show.
I remember that now.
Oh.
You know what they have now? The floor is lava.
What?
Yeah.
We always had
Nope.
that.
Not new. Not new.
Floor is lava. It's new.
Boo.
Yeah, that is like older than my parents.
Recycled.
You know?
The floor is lava.
Yeah.
The show.
Oh no, I don't know
It's
about
just
the show.
no.
but
I,
that's
was,
always-
I don't. It doesn't surprise me that there is now a show because
Mark
everything
Summers.
is recycled.
I mean,
Yeah,
are we
these-
that
yeah,
far out of
okay.
fucking ideas?
Well, it's Double Dare, except for it's obstacles over lava, basically.
Mm.
Yeah, kind of fun.
It was Mark Summers.
Basically, yeah.
Mark Summers was his name. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Welcome to Double Dare. What was that one that they premiered in the evening? It was like the kid game, Fun House or Game House or Fun House, I think it was, where they had to run the like obstacle course through the fucking. Nobody. How old is everybody here? Like, am I like?
Oh, you're
27.
talking like Pee Wee's Playhouse? Because that motherfucker went to jail for like whacking off in
No,
a
Pee
theater.
Wee's Playhouse. That was right in my wheelhouse for sure. Pee Wee's
I'm
Playhouse.
sure it was.
I was very
It was like
impressed
a
when he got
like a-
arrested for yanking himself in a porn movie.
Oh, nobody was surprised by that. He was like the mentally ill Mr.
No.
Rogers. Like when you
The-
heard that
when
he got
he was
arrested,
Paul
you were
Rubin,
like
when
really,
he
and then
was
when you
in
heard why, you
Blow-
were like, oh,
Paul Rubin and Blow was just fantastic.
yeah. Like, okay, Pee Wee getting arrested for that surprised us about as much as Michael Jackson diddling kids. Like everybody's like, oh,
Michael Jackson. I just saw an thing about Michael Jackson that said he was killed because he was exposing pedophilia, that he wasn't actually a pedophile, that he actually loved kids and he hated pedophiles.
Like a conspiracy theory situation.
maybe I don't know. It sounds like a Michael
They
Jackson.
made him out to be a pedo because he was exposing. It was trying to expose the
That
pedos.
wouldn't shock me.
I don't know. I've heard he was trying to expose himself to children, but I don't know. I wasn't there.
Macaulay Culkin never said he tried to touch him or anything.
It was like random. I feel like it
Well,
was
maybe
random.
it was because Macaulay Culkin was home alone, and Michael was never really there, and it was just made
Or
up.
because he looked like Macaulay Culkin.
It could be. Maybe
I don't
he
think it
just
matters
wasn't-
what they look like.
Maybe he
Jared.
just wasn't into.
It
Wasn't
may
his
not.
type.
I don't diddle
know.
kids, so I don't know what
I'm
the
not a
type
kid
is.
diddler myself, so I don't know
Yeah.
if there has to be a.
No, I actually avoid children mostly when I can.
I don't like him enough to be around him. How the hell am I supposed to diddle him?
Right? It's not really a sexual attraction. It's more of a total repulsion. Not all
I-
kids.
There's no way I could get hard around a kid. I can't stand them.
People who I haven't seen in a really long time are like, "You
God.
have a kid?" I'm like, "Yeah, mine's cool. Nobody else."
Wait,
They
hold
said
on.
that
This is
no one
crazy.
from Maxwell's trial has been put in jail or charged or anything at all. Like nobody
what I
on that
found.
list.
I mean, no, they're not going to either. I mean, we're lucky we hear anything about
Wasn't
it at all.
Did you hear about the fire in yeah, it's Keith Urban.
Oh, fuck.
This is where
The
Scramblin's
fire
at
in
right
New York
now.
City police evidence thing. And they're saying all the Epstein fucking case files were in there.
I feel like I heard about it, and they're just getting
okay.
they're just getting real blatant with shit.
Yeah.
Like we're just gonna set the fucking place on fire.
But, right?
We're not even gonna get some Middle Eastern guys to fly a plane into a building to get rid of the evidence. We're just gonna set it on fire.
Yeah. I don't know. They're just getting too blatant with shit.
It's okay. That's all the classified documents that were in Trump's locker. It was just all Epstein shit. Yeah, he's holding it for him.
I love the Trump classified documents thing because you're the president. You could just wave a wand and say it's not classified anymore. Essentially, so
Right.
who cares? Like, ting, now it's not classified. Okay.
Can't you do that when it's classified or it's not classified? You can just make it classified.
No,
This is a national security issue.
what you
The
can
color
do
of
is
my feces this morning.
you can just send them to people on your freaking Yahoo email account from your home computer. That's what you can do.
Well, what was that stuff a long time ago I heard something about, like when the president goes places, if he has to use a public restroom, they actually collect his feces because they are afraid people are going to like test it, find out health issues and stuff like that.
I have not heard that one.
Maybe. I'd be putting presidential poop on eBay if I could too. I'd be selling Joe Biden turns left and right if it was available to me. I mean,
if it was just still in his underwear, it would be even more impressive.
Oh.
So I say there's no chance it comes out solid, right?
Oh, there's no way. There's no way.
The guy's
need
eating so
Jackie
many
with
prunes.
right here. She's got to come with the jar. Bring Jackie with the jar. She's got the expertise there. It's going to be shart in a jar all over the place.
Shart in a jar.
Can you imagine how much it must suck to like just even live in that world and have to be like an aide or an assistant or like Secret Service and like
I'd hate to have AIDS.
I thought you meant for him. I'm like, I don't
AIDS
think he
would
knows
suck.
living in
AIDS
this
would
world.
really
the
suck.
people around him. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's honestly, I think it's like elder abuse. Like
I
somebody
got it. I
let this
just for you.
motherfucker. Somebody put this
That's
motherfucker out there. They let this motherfucker do this. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing half the time. Why is this going on? Why is his family allowing this shit? Nobody said, Joe, you're done. Nobody, you can't. You shouldn't do this. Come on.
No, they encouraged him to do it. You see his wife out there holding him up.
Right? Oh yeah.
And she's a fucking doctor. She signed the hypocritical oath.
Right. Yeah.
I guess it's only do no harm to your patients. You can do whatever you want to your husband.
You see what being good at math gets you? You see what being good at math gets you? That right there.
So
A fucked up country.
somebody mentioned AIDS, and that reminded me of a guy I knew back in New York. He did not have AIDS, but we thought he
Which
did
kind of AIDS?
because he was super skinny. And in like the 90s, the late 90s, mid 90s, he looked like he was straight out of the 80s. Like it was pretty much a blonde mullet down to his ass. And he was a softball player, but he went all out on the softball. Like, bar league softball, you show up in maybe athletic shorts or blue jeans and t-shirt and like sneakers. He would show up in like sliding shorts and fucking spikes and like a jersey and stuff.
Hell yeah.
And so this is for bar league, and they got an all-star team of all the bar league teams, and they were going to go play, and they're going to go play a couple tournaments. And so they got a game set up with the local correctional facility because they had a softball team. So they were like, some of the guys were actually guards, and so they hooked that up where they played them. And so they all take a bus out there, and they get off the bus, and my buddy the guy that we thought had AIDS. He gets off the bus and they're all warming up and everything, and so the captains come up to the middle and they're talking to the umps and shit, and so the captain of the prison team is like, "You guys want to make this interesting?" I'm like, what? Like, you need money in there or something? He goes, "No, we want him." And they pointed over to him. They said, "You guys lose, we get him."
Ooh.
So they went back and they told him, they're like, "Oh yeah, we got a little bit on the line here." Like, what do you mean? They're like, "Oh, if we lose, you're staying with them."
That guy, you're alive.
I found a good Bubbles meme for this one.
Better one.
Uh-oh.
I like
Bubbles,
Bubbles.
the chimp.
It's
Not the
relevant to the story that was just told.
Bubbles.
It was a little rapey.
It was a little rapey.
It was a little rapey.
Yeah.
Oh,
If
this
you
whole
lose, we
episode
get
of the After
him.
Party's been kind of rapey, from Ducks to Joe
Yeah,
Biden.
this whole
to
thing kind of in that.
Nicole asked why we don't have a theme. I think we should pick the theme at the end of the show.
That meme was the theme. For the
Yeah,
I think so.
If I could
don't know
sum
whether
this one up, it's kind of been rape and racism.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's been rapey and Jewy.
yeah.
Well,
it's
I asked Ross the other day. I said, "Is Judaism is that a race or is that a religion?" Or
Yes.
he said it's both.
Both.
yes.
Yes.
How do you get both?
It's called privilege.
Google it.
Privilege.
They make the rules. That's how.
The rules.
You write
I
the
know.
laws and you
No,
enforce
so
them and you profit from them.
When you
They
control the weather,
everything.
you get to decide.
So I did it. 23andMe. Have you guys done these things? So I know nobody. I know you guys are all anti-23.
When your whole religion gets to be wizards, but you hate witches, you can do what you
Correct.
want.
Google knows enough about me. I'm not sending them my DNA.
Yeah, fair. So whatever, I did it. And
Oh, they
it
already
came
have
back.
my DNA. They can
Yeah,
have
they
more
have
of it if they want to. They just got to ask nicely. They got to pay.
It came back like 50% Ashkenazi Jew. So it's a real thing.
So more than 51%. Shit.
No, 50 even.
Oh, 50. Oh, even.
Nothing 50.
You're a half Jew. You're a half blood.
I am a half blood. I am.
Oh no.
What's the other half? German?
No, it wasn't. It was
Oof.
like like English and Scottish. Like
So that means you
European.
can like, eat bacon with like one side of your mouth, but not the other.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm Jewish. I eat crab and I am not keeping kosher. Like that is not ever gonna happen in my house.
You know what I used
What
to give
about
up for
outside of
Lent?
your house?
Catholicism.
Yeah, no, my husband made it
It
to,
wasn't really hard for me to give up either.
I think he made it to 6th grade in Catholic school, and then I think they asked him to not re-enroll or ask his parents to not re-enroll him.
Yes, not re-enroll. Nice.
I had a lot of friends that got kicked out of Catholic school.
Yeah.
We had one in our town that it went till 6th grade. So until you got to junior high, you could go to Catholic school. And I can't tell you how many of my friends showed up in like 3rd grade, 5th grade. We're like, "Where did you go to school?" He goes, "St. Mary's." What happened? They wouldn't let me come back.
Why is it all?
You know it was really bad when they showed up in
St.
like
Mary's?
November.
You're right.
Why is it all the Catholic schools are St. Mary's though? Why is it that like there's everywhere you go there's a St. Mary's? Every region.
Wasn't
there is
St.
a
Mary
Mary's.
the patron
St.
saint
Rose.
of education?
St. Mary was motherfucking mother of Christ. Why is she a saint? Do we have to like add that to it? Like, you know, you already
It was a
prayed to her
different
ass like she's an
Mary.
extra god, but you have to add saint on there too. But
It
all
was a
these
different
schools,
Mary. It was
churches,
Mary Jones,
hospitals-
not Mary
Oh,
Christ.
okay. No, okay. I suppose
Mary
there's I much preferred Mary Magdalene, the whore that hung out with Jesus. At least he had good taste. You know?
Maybe that too it was.
Mary is the patroness of all humanity.
Right?
It's
Everybody
kinda
asks
general.
me like,
Generic.
don't you hate Jesus if you're not Christian? I'm like, I don't hate Jesus at all. I think I probably would have
Never knew
partied
him.
with the motherfucker. He hung out with the whores and he actually drank. He said, I gotta go hang with the sinners. The motherfucker could party.
That dude
Oh,
never
cool.
ran out of fucking wine. All he had to do was
Dude,
find a pond.
I mean, he
That's
just
right,
be like
you
snap
look
his
at
fingers. You want you a fucking fish sandwich? All right, we got you. You want some wine? We got you. We're good.
We got you. I have
Right?
a kids and religion story that just happened on Monday night. So we're in a pretty like conservative Christian area out here, and so I had prepped
Like
my
Texas?
kid like Texas, very similar. In fact, we are the Texas of Washington. So I had prepped him like eventually you're going to be somewhere, and some kid is going to ask you about Jesus. So I kind of gave him the outline of it. So it happened Monday night.
What's he
Standing
wanted
Did
to
you
know?
tell him Jesus was a Jew? Did
Yeah.
you tell him
No,
Jesus was a Jew?
standing in line
Are
Monday
you
night.
asking me for advice on Jesus?
Yes.
And a carpenter.
That's right. So Monday night, he's standing in line for gymnastics class, and a kid younger than him, like a 5-year-old, turns to him and goes, "Do you know Jesus?" And he was like, "I don't. Who? What are you talking
Do
about?
you work for ICE?
You know?" Yeah. And he was like, "I don't know."
Yeah, I met him outside Home Depot last weekend. Mom
no,
hired him to put shingles on the roof.
Yeah. And the kid was
After
like,
she
"No,
checked his
God,
license."
you know God. And he was
He
like,
had a construction license.
"That's right. He had a license, the carpenter." And he goes, "No, we don't really do the God thing." He's like, "Well, we might believe in one God." And I finally, I was like, "Oh, really? Which one is that?" And he goes, "Thor."
Nice.
I love it. Okay, my work is done
Okay,
here.
kid. Okay, kid.
Nice work. Good job.
Here's the fucked up thing, though. I don't know anybody who believes in Thor that believes in one God, because he was like one of a fucking huge pantheon.
I know, but I mean, it was pretty. It shut the kid down.
Yeah.
That was the whole point.
It's a little like
Yes.
Accomplished its goal.
My favorite one when people want to pull that up is like, oh, yo, so cool. You want to follow Jesus? Well, let's say I follow Thor. Okay. Your God symbolized by what? A nail and a cross? Mine by a hammer.
Oh, I like that.
That's an interesting little one to pull on people, but whatever,
that
you know. I just
That's like
stay
the
out
old
of the religious
like
bullshit.
Trump
for the
and
most part,
McCain. Do you really
I
want
do.
somebody that lost?
Come at me with it.
right? It's like, fuck it. It ain't worth it.
You're
What
gonna
people are
ask
going to
me-
believe what they fucking want to believe, and all you're going to do is piss people off if you want to argue with it, because they
As long as they don't
the
come
whole
ask me
thing.
ridiculous questions, I think all religions are dumb. Sorry.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I would like to prescribe to all of the logical fallacies at one time, and I want to defend them with my entire being.
Yeah, it just seems like a lot of work.
Well, I would say,
And
I would call myself spiritual, not religious.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
not a follower in any
said
sense,
Paul.
politically, religiously, anybody. Well, I can't even follow my
I said
fucking
you.
self.
They
I gotta
removed
follow
my
my own
comment.
Go back to the
What is your
bathroom.
comment?
They removed my comment on that tech group post.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah. Weird.
you
Had like
didn't
20
get
minutes,
booted, though. You weren't booted?
half hour. I don't know. I haven't logged back in, but my buddy said that they already took it down.
Oh, well.
Those
Hey,
fuckers.
Truth hurts,
Patty.
doesn't it? Truth fucking stings.
Some
Yep.
legal advice here. Does
Yeah.
this one work? Does this one work?
Uh-oh.
I see.
I don't know. What does what work?
Yeah, sure.
That was super convincing.
So I was
Try
I
it.
was
Try
a
it.
grand
See what happens.
juror last week,
Is that legal advice?
and I don't know how grand juries typically work, but here in South Carolina, we are the people.
South Carolina, we get all our cousins together. And
The grand jury is the group of people who have been enlisted, drafted, if you will,
They don't
against our
volunteer
will.
in South Carolina?
No.
Okay, here.
We've been
tax of
drafted,
their time.
and the cops generally bring cases to this group of individuals to determine whether or not they have enough of a case to take to trial.
Mhm.
I thought a grand jury was like high profile cases and such, but not here.
Different type.
So, yeah. It was a misunderstanding. I thought it was gonna be like a murder or something, but it was less exciting than that. So whenever they did the training thing the first day that we were all selected, I only had to go in and do the one day, luckily. But back in July, because it's a half a year term, they told us all the like how it goes and stuff. They come in and present the case. They're like, here's what happened, blah, blah, blah. Just read the case report. And then they leave, and there will be any discussion that takes place. And then you say whether or not it's approved to go to trial, basically. And like all the explanation was like, all right, rubber stamp, just pass it along. But also we're not just here to rubber stamp things. We got to talk about it and blah, blah, blah. But you hear like 150 fucking things in 8 hours and you want to get the hell out of there because it's the least interesting thing you've ever done in your life. So in my experience, again, this was one day. They do this 3 days a month all year. In one day, over 100 cases, almost all of them, I would say 80%, were small amounts of drugs that they were trying to hype up to intent to distribute. And somebody had a gun in their car that was not in the government approved locations. That was 80% of them. And they
jury nullification.
Rubber stamped every one of them. I raised shit on every simple gun possession charge, and they all still went through because nobody gave a shit. The only one that was like disapproved from going to trial, somebody had been pulled over for some stupid bullshit reason. Cop may have accidentally put a tampon in his ass. Something was up there. Found like a small amount of crack in the center console because the people didn't know to say, do not search my fucking vehicle, which was also the case of almost all of these. And the highway patrol guy charged everybody in the vehicle for possession and intent to distribute crack cocaine, which was a high level charge. And the one lady like raised a stink about it and got enough people on board that one was not going to trial. That one was being thrown out. Everything else, the whole way down the board, was going to trial. It was sad. It was a sad day.
Yeah.
There was one, I think there was one like intentional, I guess it wasn't even really intentional. There was one murder case. There was a couple of like kitty diddling cases where there was just like a ton of, I guess
there's the other part of the after party thing.
A ton of evidence, but there were a ton of like this girl. It was a fucked up situation, but these two girls
happened to be
like,
a ton of evidence on one computer.
No, these two different girls, they were sisters. Their oldest sister's husband had been apparently messing with them for years, and they were like, oh, there was like 50 times at this location and like over 100 times here. It's just fucking horrible. The amount of things that they were just running through, like line item after line item.
So did you guys go in and deliberate and decide how you were voting, or was that all public?
There was almost no discussion of almost anything.
Because if that was the case and I was in the grand jury, I'd be like, hey, all you fuckers, just let this guy off so he can walk out of this place and you'll never fucking see him again.
We'll take care of it.
Yeah.
Don't ask any questions. Just make it so they don't take him to fucking jail because we can't get him.
Here's the deal. Let's all let him out. Let him go. Under one condition, you understand, if y'all are back on this grand jury again, when I roll through here after
me,
do the same thing for me. Okay,
it ain't gonna be.
But they would have to recuse themselves.
Right.
There was one guy that was like, he was there. He was notorious. Everybody was making jokes about how many times he'd had to recuse himself because he grew up in an area where a lot of people were messing with drugs and stuff. So he knew the names of just like, I don't know, tens, hundreds of people that were coming through there.
Right. Well, that's thing, he can voluntarily recuse himself. But if I know the motherfucker that's going on trial and I know,
gotta say shit.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
You only have to recuse yourself.
That'd be the time I would stay. That'd be the time I would stay. I'd be like, the rest of the time I'd be looking for a reason out.
They said if you knew anybody or knew the reporting officer, either way.
That's interesting.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
And you're one of 12 to 18 votes, and you have to have a majority to go either way. So it's like, unless you're going to be the person that's going to raise a stink and
doesn't matter,
like delay everything until you piss everybody off enough that they vote your way. Because that's about the only way that anything went no. Then it was just all going to go through.
I don't want to be there.
Sad.
I don't want to be there, and I'll take any excuse I can to not be there. But the minute I hear a motherfucker's name that I know, I'm staying.
Yeah.
Or drug
I gotta know
charges,
now.
or gun charges, or anything other than you fucking hurt somebody else. I'm staying
Right.
for a fucking.
I agree.
But when I used
It
to get called
also-
for jury
man.
duty, I would say, I would go and I played golf at the country club with all the lawyers. I was an Elks Club member with all the lawyers and all the judges. And I'd walk in, the judge would call my name. I'd walk up and be like, "Hey, Brian." I'd be like, "Hey, how's it going?" And then the lawyer sitting next to me would be like, "Hey, Brian, how's it going?" I'm like, "I'm good." And the other one would be like, "Fucking out of here."
Oh, I was pissed off when I was dealing with some stupid old shit. My fucking lawyer walks up to the fucking prosecuting lawyer. They're shaking hands. And they're talking about how they had lunch the like fucking week before. And they all sit down. And I'm like, well, you know what? You're in a fucking small county and there's only so many lawyers. Well, they're all buddies.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, is this not like some kind of a conflict here? What the fuck?
Yeah, it's not, because it almost
No.
makes it better, like if you know the opposing side, because then you don't there's not as much bullshit going on.
Jimmy, I'm not letting you win this week. This motherfucker's not going
Yeah,
down
we
because of
don't.
our old bets.
At least in construction, especially if I know the lawyer on the other side, stuff goes so much easier because we
Right.
know we're going to deal with each other again.
That
But
makes
then
sense.
at the same time, you're like, hey, I mean, I'm not saying they're all like that, but there's these motherfuckers out there that
Maybe.
somebody's like, hey, Jim, guess what? We can play at the golf course closer to your house next week if you just take it
Maybe.
easy on me tomorrow. You know? That
Yeah,
shit goes down.
or if somebody's got a really bad case and they know they've got a really like solid one coming up, they'd be like,
They're
"I'm letting
more
you have
worried-
this one, but I get the next one."
Exactly.
Yeah, I
And
would
they're
not
more
do that
worried about their
because-
reputation coming up. Yeah.
Once you agree to, like with contracts, once you agree to like one shitty term, they're going to expect you to roll on that forever. So I would get, like,
Yeah.
if it's someone I know, there's no way. Nope.
Yeah.
Because
That makes a lot more sense. But if
Every
you don't
time
have a
you're like,
soul,
yeah. But we all see
Oh.
each other, like we all go to the construction law conferences, like a lot of us. So if you don't want to be shitty because then you're going to be embarrassed when you go to the next thing.
that makes sense.
Politics and anything legal, all especially in a small area, very
yeah.
much on the good old boy system.
Ooh,
There
Tell
aren't that many
anybody who
construction
you know.
lawyers. There aren't that
All who you
really,
know.
like as a slice of how many lawyers like in the country, that construction law is a very small, and arc and design and engineering is even smaller. So
Right. I mean, once you put it up, you're pretty much off the hook. After that, when the motherfuckers break it, it's not your problem.
10 years in most states. It's 10 years.
10 years.
question
awful.
for everybody.
Mm.
I am only 27 years old.
Okay.
I have already run into a very large number of things that I come across in everyday life that I can't believe people accept in the real world. Like, this isn't still kindergarten.
Right.
That people 2 and 3 and 4 times, if they make it that long, my age, just accept as these are the terms. Like going to jail for having a small amount of drugs. The government telling you in which places in your car you can put your gun or else you will be arrested.
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah, no, your
cutting-
awareness
cutting-
of this
Put it in your
doesn't
bum.
get better, but you get your awareness of this doesn't get better, but you get more used to it. After a while,
right.
you stop being surprised. You just stop being surprised at how stupid people are, and you just accept they're all fucking retarded.
There were a good
The whole world.
handful
What's the
or
question?
more of
I want
cases.
to know what the
Yeah,
question
what is the question?
That's it. Like how am I alone in this? That there are just a large
No,
number
you're on a
of
whole
things.
podcast of this.
It has
Yeah,
nothing
that's
to do with
what I
being
expected.
27.
But I'm
Fucking
this
world is
No,
retarded.
the point is I'm this young and I've realized it, and there are 50, 60,
Because you're
70,
just now
80 year
starting to
olds.
actually realize it. You're just actually now starting to think about it and see how bad it is. We've fucking seen it for a while too. It's
Right.
just now
That-
we're just used to it.
Yeah.
No, it's
I think
that
it's
way.
still bad
It's not
though.
a
When
new
I
thing.
when I run into like other lawyers that are significantly been practicing a lot longer than I have been, and they're just fine with like the government telling you where you can put your car or put your gun in your car, or the government saying, oh, 10 rounds is fine, but 14 rounds makes you a felon. You know, that
Yeah, well, but their whole fucking
gets
career is based on enforcing what the government comes up with, and they don't give a fuck what the government says. Their whole job is to game the system. So if their rules change, they can find new ways to game it.
Like the number of lawyers.
If the law book was this big instead of this big, how many lawyers would we have?
Same amount.
How many would we need though? No, how?
Same number.
How would there be enough work for all of the trial lawyers and
they wouldn't need all their fucking
lawyers,
aides and researchers.
Most disputes are not most things in court have nothing to do with laws. Most of those disputes are contracts, land disputes.
Civil, I suppose, if it's civil.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
most lawyers are not criminal lawyers.
There's no law in civil law?
Well, not if it's a contract. Not really, no. It's whatever's in the contract.
It's technically the laws.
That
was
so
set.
Why do we need lawyers?
Because people like to argue about what the thing in the contract meant.
Well, it's a law. It's that the two private parties who agreed to this created a law that binds that small individual. They voluntarily.
The law is whatever's in the contract.
And then then they have a mediator, and in this case, a lawyer, which is a fucking licensed mediator, basically.
Right. It's like a professional that's meant to spends their life understanding these disputes.
Because the kids can't fucking agree. They have to have somebody else come in and fucking.
That's right.
Well, sounds like a big waste of fucking money and time to me.
People don't respect contracts. People don't actually give them a lot of thought and time and care.
Yeah.
If you just wrote the contract, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and if I don't, this happens. It would be 2 paragraphs, and there wouldn't be any litigation because it would be so obvious. But people
that kind of goes right. That kind of goes right in line with the law book being this big.
Yeah, if your contract,
assume that
and that's how I write contracts. By the
are
way,
contracts, and
my contracts are half as long
enforceable.
as other lawyers.
Nice.
So what I do is start deleting shit. Why are we saying this sometimes? This is stupid. You know.
That's
you wouldn't need lawyers if contracts were decent.
You wouldn't need lawyers if laws didn't exist.
Patty just disagreed with
kind of in the name, right?
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of. Yeah.
I mean, there's always like somebody mediate my dispute, right? Like back as far as forever.
Right.
Oh, I'm mediating.
And that's going to settle to the people who do it best. Yeah. And those people will be lawyers.
Hey, isn't there a law in Texas, Josh? You probably know this, that you can choose to fight someone and
mutual combat,
as you both agree, mutual combat or whatever.
As long as you don't actually severely injure or kill someone, that can't be part of it. It has to be completely unarmed. You do have to have a third party that witnesses that you both did agree. This is going to be mutual contract.
What if the guy's a fucking pussy?
Well, then I guess whatever.
Then it can't be mutual combat.
No, you guys, you can actually walk up to a bar. And in fact, some people will recommend this, and they say you grab a cop, and some of the cops will be like, "Okay, it is what it is," and let them know, "Hey, look, we're about to have mutual contract, mutual contract. Wow,
trial by combat."
And yeah, basically, and
fun.
He'll witness and see. And as long as you don't actually like fucking put somebody in the hospital or kill them, y'all can just fucking duke it out.
I told you about the guys I ran into in the parking lot.
I know. Like,
it's
what's the point? If I'm going to fight a motherfucker, somebody's ending up in the hospital or a hole. That's all there is to it.
Right.
I don't need to go out of my way.
If you say, "Hey, let's fucking go," and I say, "Okay, you sure?" and they're like, "Yeah, let's fucking go," I say, "All right, let's go," and then they fucking end up in the hospital. That's not my fucking fault.
Well, the way I understood what Josh was saying was that it couldn't be like over a murder case, or you couldn't kill the guy in combat to resolve the dispute.
No. If you go to a bar, say you and I are sitting in a bar, Jared, and we have a fucking beef. Instead of doing whatever, we can go, "All right, hey, Patty, Jared and I both agree we're going to go out and fucking beat the shit out of each other to settle this shit."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, there's no referee. You just have to witness both
Pretty
of us
much,
agreeing that we're both okay
my
with fighting.
understanding of it is when you reach that point where you've got the dude on the ground and you're beating him senseless and you decide not to stop, that's when you cross the line. That's my understanding of that law.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it usually doesn't get that far with me.
Right, but it's one of them. Like
it's
I think
it's like octagon rules.
You can't just like agree to this and then go out and like beat somebody into a fucking pulp for no fucking reason and not stop and get off scot-free. But for the most part, they give you a little bit of rope to hang yourself. I'm like, fuck it, I'll just stay out of the damn fight. But if you want to pick a fight with me, motherfucker, I will finish it, law or not. That's just where I am. And I don't care where I'm at, Texas or not. That's how it's going to happen. Because
it's one of only 2 states. Washington is the other one.
Oh, fuck.
You haven't
like mutual combat with Scramblin. Let's do it.
You've got to make sure to write. You got to make sure to write mutual combat into all your contracts going forward.
It's going to be Chicken Joe, and Scramblin mutual combat.
Yes.
It's like step 1, non-binding arbitration. Step 2, mutual combat. Step 3, we go to court.
Step 2.5 for the mutual combat. We actually incorporate an MMA league inside of Church of the Squirming Coil, so we can have a legal fight club at SquatchFest.
There we go.
That's hysterical.
Yeah, there you go. There's your new thing you need. There's your draw for SquatchFest.
That's my new thing. Yeah.
Like a free-for-all fucking old school, like no
Royal
rules MMA fucking just brawl that people can just
bare knuckle boxing.
Like, just straight up like
fight club.
Taunt your enemy to come to SquatchFest and beat the fuck out of me in it won't be the octagon. It'll be something like the fucking like tetrahedron or some shit that whatever the fuck Scramblin comes up with like trees and like 17 directions. There'll be ropes to swing off of. You both get furry suits. You have to beat the fuck out of each other with like a baseball bat full of nails. And then we put some Humphrey stab on it when you're done. We all go out and get high.
Shit off an elephant.
Hysterical.
I don't know what happened, but I went out in the woods. I dressed up like an Ewok and I did shrooms, and the guy hit me with a baseball bat. But it was awesome.
But it was Winnie the Pooh, so it was okay.
I think I fought Ted.
I told him that I'd fight him.
Bear. I fought the Jew Bear.
I fought the Jew Bear. And I won.
The bear beat me.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh.
I competed right out of the place.
I still can't believe it's Washington is the other one. That's
very surprising.
I think they should add in a law there that if you're not allowed to injure them severely or put them in the hospital or kill them, if you win, you get to brand them.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
I like that too.
That just makes sense.
Everybody's carrying a brand around to the bar with their initials
carrying
on
a branding iron.
I accept this world.
Everybody wearing a map dashboard to beat that bitch up. Like, I won. Fuck it.
I won. Bend over.
You like those little butane-powered soldering irons that you can buy, but with like a branding iron on the end. You have like a little holster stay on your belt.
I accidentally put a branding iron in my bum. Don't take it out and put it in your stomach. You might get bacterial infection.
Right? Like, I was at the airport the other day. Guy walks up to me, he's pointing at me, and he goes, "Hey, fucker!" And I'm like, "Yeah, you." We walked outside. I slapped him in the face. He slapped me in the face, and I branded his ass.
Literally.
Left ass.
D-hole shut.
And then, like later, if you get into a war, everybody branded has to fight for your side.
Man, okay, I like this.
He becomes part of your gang. Like if you don't kill him,
he's your bitch. Yeah.
Now you two fight because I branded you both. So.
Yeah, they become your minions.
That's right.
Mandingos.
Oh shit! You're mine.
Into the Anarchy podcast. We'll tell you how the world should work.
Wow. Yeah, we're breaking ground on this one.
I would totally set up like my own like fucking gladiator like arena and all kinds of shit. Yeah, fuck that. Do it.
I like dogs too much. I should have toddler fights.
Toddler fights.
That's more like they're brutal, man. Like,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, like dog fighting rings. I don't like that. I want to go toddlers. I think.
Put two 6-year-olds that are convinced they're ninjas in a ring.
No, I want to go younger than that. They got to barely be able to walk. So when they run, they're like,
I want them right at that. I want them right at that age where they can reasonably swing a small frying pan.
And then
you're gonna give them weapons?
Oh fuck yeah, dude!
Jeez.
I mean, is this even?
Everything is a weapon.
Are you kidding?
I think toddlers in a ring would be fun to watch.
Oh, I'm sure it would be.
Yeah, everything is a weapon to a toddler.
Especially if you offered them like a cookie if they won. I mean, it wouldn't have to be big prizes. It's not like you're gonna have to throw out $500,000 or something for the prize winner. It's like a fucking blueberry muffin or something.
Yeah,
true. It's true.
A pile of chocolate chips. That would be plenty.
A glass of orange juice. Come on.
Just give the kid a couple of cookies and then set an extra one on the table before he grabs it. Take it away, and when he cries, the other kid has
a Red Bull, and then
tell him the other kid has their treat.
Tell him the other kid stole it.
Tell him the other kid stole it.
Yeah, he stole your cookie and ate it already.
That kid was government. He stole your other cookie.
He stole your cookie. You guys, you're gonna wear a red suit. He's gonna wear a blue suit. The other guy stole your cookie, and he's a bad person.
Right. Yeah.
So you guys have to fight. This is the most important fight of your life.
I'm teaching you what it's going to be like in prison.
If you don't fight, our lives are literally over.
Right.
Yeah.
They'll win, and everything will change.
Yeah.
People will starve. There will be no more cookies ever. If you don't get that cookie, they will
your lifetime.
They will stop everybody from getting all of the cookies ever again. They want to end cookies.
They want to end cookies.
Completely unrelated, but I've recently, in my downtime when I'm not doing anything productive, I'll watch celebrity roasts on YouTube. And last night I just searched celebrity roasts and came across.
Like, how are you doing? Like,
so it was a lot of recent ones, but last night we watched the 1978 roast of Frank Sinatra.
Oh, I've seen that.
Who was there?
I know. So Ronald Reagan pre-presidency was there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think Sammy Davis was there, and
Sammy Davis was not there, but he was talked about. Okay, Red Buttons was there. Red Fox. Milton Berle. Yep. Milton Berle.
That dude was supposedly had a huge wang.
Really?
That's what I heard.
Patty, you Googling it in the bar.
Yeah, no, I know who that is. I'm trying to remember.
Oh, she knows about the huge wang.
Yeah, Dean Martin hosted him.
Yeah,
Dean Martin hosted him.
I know all about that.
LaWanda Page was there. I hadn't heard of her, but she was fucking hilarious.
Who?
LaWanda Page.
She's hysterical.
LaWanda Page.
Yeah, she was good.
Yeah, some of those like, who was it that I watched?
George Burns
who was the bald guy?
I love that dude.
And Orson Welles was there too.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was good. My wife liked it. It was a lot more wholesome than the more recent ones. I like the raunchy shit, but she was really happy with the.
I might have to rewatch this. This is a good one.
The other ones have some
fucking Red Buttons was there, and then we watched one recently from like 2008, and Red Buttons was doing the same fucking routine 30 years later. It was hilarious. You never got a dinner.
Yeah, some of the old ones, the black and white roasts are really good.
Oh yeah. Actually worth watching.
Then the late 90s, early 2000s were pretty good with some
and
of
nowadays
those guys.
It's just fucking Pete Davidson talk shit about somebody.
And everybody talking shit on Pete Davidson because it's so easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Who is that guy? Like, why did he become relevant?
I don't know, but he was just like born on Saturday Night Live. He was just like born there. Like they just
he'd been doing he'd done stand up before Saturday Night Live. He was on Saturday Night Live more recently.
I'm sure he did, but nobody ever saw his shit until he was on Saturday Night Live. Now we all see the
replays. Was his stand up any good? Because I haven't heard.
Yeah, he was
kind of funny. He's kind of funny.
He was funny. He was funny for a while. I stopped paying attention in like 2016. He got a fucking full color tattoo of Hillary Clinton on his forearm. And I was like, all right, he's gone off. As a joke
or as support?
No, I don't know the actual story, but
maybe
it was
he
like
just wants to come on his left arm.
The post was like something about my hero is finally on my arm or something like that, and I was like,
did you ever see have you seen the meme with the guy with Hillary's coughing on his tablet, and he's got it like holding it in his lap?
No.
Oh god. My buddy sent that to me one night. The other one that's
really good is the William Shatner roast is really funny.
William Shatner is pretty funny.
I think I did see that one.
It's a good one, yeah.
Betty White was there, yeah?
Betty White's on that one.
Yeah, oh man.
In there, yeah.
Oh shit. We were watching the Jerry Stiller roast in 2008, and someone had made this joke about there was some lady there that was older. She was one of the early female comedians. I don't remember her name.
Phyllis Diller, probably, yeah, had to be.
It may have been, but someone had made a joke that
The only old lady.
they wouldn't fuck her with someone else's dick, and so then that was in 2008, and then there was a more recent one that we watched where someone made the same joke but added to it. They said they wouldn't fuck her dick with Andy Dick's pussy.
Andy Dick.
I met that guy.
He's kind of funny. Like everybody
mean,
bags on him because he's a fucking idiot, but I find his shit pretty funny.
So I worked my first law job was for the record label that published his albums. And so I'm sitting in there and I'm like an intern. I'm like a second year law student sitting in my little cubicle at the Warner Brothers building in Burbank. And he comes in and I'm like, I didn't even like it took me as long as him to get across the building to process who the hell it was. Like jumps up onto my like business development guy's desk, drops trow, takes a piss in his mug, pulls his pants up, tucks it in, and walks back out.
He took his pants down to piss?
Yes. I was like, what? I don't understand.
So he did have a vagina.
Dude, if I would have taken my pants down, I'm going to take a shit in that mug.
Maybe he didn't have to poo.
Maybe not. It might have been a false alarm. One of those times you just had a really full bladder and you're like, I thought I had the shit, but no, man, it was all liquid.
And that was my interaction with him. He's so
interesting.
That was a fun, that was the best internship. I was there for like 2 years. It was so fun. Like,
wow.
I told you guys about my pooing in the woods, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
When the guy happened to
the landmarker.
Yeah.
That was earlier today.
No, I was hunting. That was somebody else.
Okay.
When I was hunting, I was turkey hunting at some public land, state land, but it was in the city. And I like to go there because it was bow hunting only. You couldn't shoot a shotgun or a rifle there because it was in city limits. But
like a golf course or something like that. And they just had like a permit.
Yeah, well, it was kind of like they were building a development around it, but it was a larger area, and then
wooded residential area.
Yeah, it was. And so my brother-in-law lived in that development next to it, and so I would go park at his place, walk over there, and turkey hunt because there was a shitload of turkeys, and so. I'm like sitting there in my blind. I'm like, man, I got a crap so bad. And so I go and I'm in the woods. I'm walking around and I find a tree and it had like a curve in it. And I'm like, oh my God, I can hold on to this and, support myself. So
a natural toilet appears.
Well, yeah. I mean, so I grabbed it and I dropped my cable on the ground and I turned around and. Well, yeah, of course. Good. There's always a roll in the backpack.
Good.
And so I turn around and I look, and there's a fucking house right there, and some dude at his kitchen window.
Oh my God!
Would have been looking right at my back.
Nice.
Oh man!
Oh, this reminds me. Oh,
whoops.
So when I lived up in Davenport, Iowa, little bitty fucking house, a little like 1/10 of an acre fucking lot. We were illegally keeping quail on the back porch, because we were supposed to have. Nobody knew, the neighbors who knew, we gave them eggs. But we had just moved into this place. It was before we even got the quail or anything like that. I've been there a week. I get there, park this old fucking Crown Vic I'm driving, get out and realize, son of a bitch, I locked the fucking keys in the car. In the ignition.
Boy.
Like, God damn it. I've got spares. They're in the house, but my keys are in the fucking ignition. I'm the only one home. We've not been here a week. I've got a roommate living down fucking stairs in the basement, which this gets even more interesting because of that. With somebody I went to college with. So they're not home.
So you were a top is what I'm hearing.
Well, in that case, yes, but not always. But
anyway, okay. Fair enough.
Anyway, no. So I'm like, all right, well, fuck. I think maybe the window over the kitchen, over the couch. It was on the couch side. Wasn't locked. Maybe. I don't know if I locked that one or not. Go over. Sure enough, it is. But I have to stand up on some shit and slide up it. So I'm doing this halfway crawl inside there. Now, mind you, while I was parking, I really had to fucking shit. I was getting ready to go home because I have to shit. Now I'm crawling into the house with like my belly across this windowsill. And I'm like, I really got to get in here and got to shit. You know, I'm about to crawl onto this couch and I hear, hey, outside. I'm like, oh, son of a bitch. Somebody's outside thinking I'm breaking into this fucking house. I come out like, man, I know this looks bad, but I fucking live here, dude. I locked my keys in my car. Like, I mean, you need to see my fucking... I don't even have my address on my license yet, but he's like, I don't give a fuck about that. Do you know where the nearest fucking Checkers is? He's like, I'm looking for this fucking restaurant. And I'm like, no. Fuck you then. He drives off and I'm like, well, this is a great neighborhood I just moved into. Awesome. But at this point, I'm like, I can't even get in the house. I'm like, I'm done. I'm about to have to shit. So I go crawl over the fucking privacy fence, go around the backyard because it was one of those houses where it's 2 stories. Well, it's a story and a half. It's got a basement, but the walkout basement, you know? But it was a short walkout basement that comes under the porch with like fucking 5-foot high clearance. So I go under the porch in the gravel and take a fucking dump because I've got shit. I guess she's that bad. It's got to come out.
What's wrong with you?
Because I could pick it up and clean it up later. It was like, you know, and I didn't want to do it because the backyard was a slope. So all the neighbors' houses, until I got up under the porch, could see directly into my backyard. So they looked back and the dude just dropping a trowel in the backyard.
That's hysterical.
I'm like, I'm not going to jail because the neighbors saw me.
The next time you're in this situation, all you do is you drop your pants below your ass cheeks so you don't notice, and then you sit against the fence like this.
Yeah, it'd probably work. I think that fence may have fell over. The place
That's fine. That's fine, as long as you're laying on your back and the turd doesn't get on your legs.
Yeah, and I landed in the neighbor's backyard, sliding downhill with shit flying out my ass. Yeah, okay. Anyway,
Perfect.
So long story
I think that's
short,
about as good a
shit.
place as any to end it.
I don't know what I did. If I drug my ass through the grass, I can't remember. But I'm like, I was
You
just
see
like,
you
all right,
drink yourself through the grass.
So I go back, crawl my ass.
You're just like a dog.
And at this point, I'm like, the fucking roommate comes home, and I'm having to explain, like, don't go out the back fucking door right now because I left a big old fucking pile underneath the porch right there. They're like, why? I'm like, I really got this shit. They're like,
did you swirl it?
I locked my keys in the car. They're like, you crawled over the fence. I'm like, well, is it gonna shit in the front yard?
I'm civilized, damn it.
So if you're taking a random poo outside, do you swirl or do you lay a cable? Like a straight cable?
It depends on what I've eaten recently and the height at which I kind of sit. Am I squatting or am I leaning over something like a log?
Dude, I'm 6'5". There is no getting that close to the ground.
That's true. Yeah, if you go that low, you're sitting on something. Yeah.
Like usually the pile of poo that I put there is what I'm sitting.
Oh yeah, I try not to sit in the pile of poo. So
if you had to know how to pee in the woods without having an apparatus to make that easier,
I'm pretty sure it's like peeing anywhere else. It still comes out. It's just getting it not on your
Corey pees everywhere. That girl.
No, but you just have to know how to do it.
Yeah.
Once you figure it out, it's fine. But
you have to get surprisingly close to the ground. I was surprised when I saw my wife do it.
Agreed.
I didn't think about it. You're up any higher, it's just gonna like
figure out how to piss on themselves.
Spray everywhere.
Yeah. Nope.
I usually I don't pee in the camper because then I have to empty the pee thing.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I have to empty the pee bucket thing like in the composting toilet. So I just go outside all the time. Why not? Like I do like rainbows, like I'm out there because there's nobody anywhere around here. So I'm like a 2-year-old outside, like exploring what you can do with your wiener while you're peeing. How high can I get it in the air?
But you know, that's the thing. If you've ever worked anywhere where you have a public restroom, you damn well know there's a lot of guys who can't fucking not just pee all over themselves because there's no way you stood there and peed and didn't get it all over yourself. There's no way.
Yeah.
No, I'm just glad that I have a
the women's restrooms are always worse. Always worse. Everywhere I've ever worked, the women's restrooms are a fucking shit show. And the nightmares that guys would never think of. Women do some fucked up shit.
I try really hard not to use public restrooms. So.
Finger painting and
bad things. Very bad, vile things. Like vengeful things.
Why didn't you take your meds today? Stuff.
Yeah. Like, you could tell this was an emotional poop painting experience.
Oh my.
You know, they put their heart and soul into this. This was art. You know?
Yeah, and I try not to use public restrooms whenever possible.
Like, how did you get the fine lines? Did you use a tampon?
I told you the story about the plugged hole, didn't I, Josh?
Yes.
The fucking grenade.
Like I said, she did anal, and her boyfriend was a
I bet she would have been easily able to put a tampon in her bum and not know anything about it.
The whole thing. Never knew.
Maybe the box.
Yeah. That girl had an OnlyFans before her ass ate it.
All right. So to end this show, I worked at a restaurant during the days. And it had like a door to go to the restroom, and it had a little lobby with a payphone and everything. And there was a men's room and a women's room. And so it was after the lunch rush, and this chick that was a server there, we were really good friends. And she comes over, she's like, "Hey, you got to come and check this shit out." Like literally. I'm like,
literally.
What? She's like, "Come on." She's like, "I was just doing the bathroom checks. You gotta check this out." So I'm like, all right, whatever. I walk over there. And so I walk in the front door of the restroom thing where the little hallway is. And I start to go to the guy's room because I'm thinking, oh, there's some guy dropped some huge turd in there or something. And she's like, no, it's in the women's room. I'm like, what? She's like, go in there and look in the second stall. And I'm like, this is going to be some like bloody tampon or something like gross. I'm going to be like, yeah, you wasted my time because this shit doesn't gross me out. It's just fucking stupid. So I walk in there and I'm like, I kind of go by the first stall. And I go and I look in the second stall, and there is no shit a grenade-looking turd plugging the hole. Bigger than the industrial restaurant toilet, like the jet flush type. Mm-hmm. There is a turd bigger than the hole.
And it's like of 6 inches in
plugged into the hole.
Oh my God.
And I'm like,
what would you say the diameter was? About 6 inches? 8
diameter? 4?
Oof. That's probably a hefty plugger right there.
Probably 4. Yeah.
Jeez.
Like I didn't know how much was below. Like it was almost round. It looked
may
like
have
a
just
grenade.
been the tip of the iceberg.
Well, I hope not. I hope that wasn't the last part out.
Like one of those worms where they get that swelling on the end, you know?
They got the ring.
Well, that sounds painful.
Yeah,
wow.
I was like, what the hell? How did that happen? And she looks at me, she goes, Like,
how do you pass that?
I don't know. Don't sit on a bedpost, kids.
Don't
trailer hitches.
Yeah,
don't shove tampons up your ass. That's where it starts. That's
where
it starts.
I was right to have tried to call this 7 minutes ago.
You were correct.
Yeah.
Hey, if you
we're gonna leave it there.
You get the good stuff.
Exactly.
We're gonna leave it there for this week.
We'll have the rest on our Patreon.
Don't shit out 4-inch wide turds.
Yes, please.